Hey Cancer, grab your coffee because what I'm about to share with you is going to absolutely shift everything you thought you knew about what's coming your way. I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, I had to sit back for a second because the universe is literally screaming that something magnificent is about to land in your lap. Something you never even dared to imagine is materializing right now. So, I'm sitting here with my deck, and I asked the universe specifically about this miracle energy that's surrounding you. And let me tell you, the cards came flying out with so much enthusiasm. The energy around you right now is electric, it's palpable, and it's building towards something that's going to make you pinch yourself to check if you're dreaming. Let me start with the first card that jumped out. And this one literally gave me chills because of what it represents for your immediate future. I pulled the World and Cancer. Do you understand what this means? This is the final card of the major arcana, the card of completion, fulfillment, and achieving what you've been working toward for so long. This isn't just any small win. This is the universe preparing to hand you the keys to a kingdom you built brick by brick without even fully realizing you were constructing something this magnificent. The world is telling me that you're about to experience a moment of pure cosmic alignment. Everything that seems scattered, every piece of the puzzle that didn't quite fit, every effort that felt like it went nowhere, it's all been part of this grand design. And now Cancer, it's all coming together in a way that's going to leave you absolutely speechless. This card represents the end of a major cycle and the beginning of something exponentially better. You've been in this phase of working, pushing, trying, maybe even struggling, and the universe watched every single moment. Every tear, every triumph, every time you almost gave up but didn't. It all counted. It all mattered. What I'm seeing with the world is that recognition is coming. The kind of recognition that changes everything. This could be recognition in your career, where suddenly people see what you've been capable of all along. It could be recognition in love, where someone finally sees you for the absolute treasure you are. It could be recognition from the universe itself, delivering opportunities that make you feel like you've finally been led into a room you've been waiting outside of for years. This card is dancing with joy energy, telling me that celebration is not just appropriate, it's inevitable. You're going to toast to something big. Cancer. Mark my words, the world also speaks to me about travel or expansion beyond your current boundaries. Now this doesn't necessarily mean physical travel, although that could absolutely be part of it. What I'm picking up is that your world is about to get bigger. Your perspective is expanding, your opportunities are multiplying, and the life you knew is about to transform into something you barely recognize in the best possible way. You've outgrown your current reality, and the universe knows it. New horizons are opening up, and they're spectacular. Here's what really gets me about this card in your reading. Cancer. The world represents achievement on a soul level. This isn't just about external success, although that's definitely part of the package. This is about internal fulfillment, about finally feeling like you're living in alignment with who you truly are and what you're meant to be doing. That sense of rightness, of being exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, that's what's coming for you. And when that hits, when you feel that deep soul satisfaction, that's when you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. The world is also about integration. You've learned so much, Cancer. You've been through experiences that shaped you, challenged you, transformed you, and now all of that wisdom, all of those lessons, they're integrated into who you are. You're not the same person you were when this cycle began, and the universe is about to reward the person you've become, the person who didn't break, who kept growing, who chose to evolve instead of staying stuck. That version of you is about to receive blessings that the old you couldn't even have handled. I'm also seeing with the world that you're entering a phase of completion, before new beginnings. Something you've been working on, dreaming about, or hoping for, is reaching its culmination point. Projects are finishing, situations are resolving, and the outcome is going to be better than you anticipated. There's this energy of things wrapping up perfectly, loose ends being tied, and everything falling into place with almost miraculous timing. The universe is orchestrating events behind the scenes, and when they all come together, you're going to be amazed at how perfectly it all worked out. Now the second card I pulled for you is Knight of Pentacles, and this energy is so grounded and reassuring after the expansive energy of the world. The Knight of Pentacles is telling me that this miracle coming your way isn't some flash-in-the-pan moment that disappears as quickly as it arrived. This is solid, this is real, this is tangible. This is the kind of good news that has weight to it, that you can build your life on, that creates lasting stability and security. The Knight of Pentacles moves slowly but surely. He's methodical, he's reliable, he's committed to seeing things through to completion. And what this tells me about your situation is that what's coming for you has been in the works for a while. This isn't random luck, this isn't chance, this is the result of consistent effort finally paying off in a major way. The universe has been watching you show up, day after day, putting in the work even when you couldn't see immediate results. The Knight of Pentacles is the universe's way of saying your dedication is about to be rewarded in a very real, very material way. I'm getting strong financial vibes from this night. Money is coming, Cancer. Not in a lottery win kind of way, but in a sustainable grow your wealth kind of way. This could be a job offer with a salary that makes your jaw drop. This could be a business opportunity that has real potential for long-term success. This could be an investment paying off, a raise coming through, a client signing on, or a financial door opening that you didn't even know existed. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't mess around with pie-in-the-sky dreams. He deals in practical reality. And the practical reality for you is that your financial situation is about to improve significantly. But beyond money, the Knight of Pentacles is also about commitment and stability in relationships. If you've been hoping for someone to step up, to show you they're serious, to prove through actions, not just words, that they're in this for real, that energy is manifesting now. Someone with Knight of Pentacles energy is either already in your life or about to enter it, and this person is the real deal. They're not playing games. They're not wasting time. They're ready to build something lasting. They see value in you, and they're willing to work for it. They're patient, they're consistent, and they're absolutely committed to proving themselves worthy of your trust. The Knight of Pentacles is also telling me about a project or goal that you've been nurturing carefully. You haven't rushed it. You've been patient. You've been doing things the right way, even when it would have been easier to take shortcuts. And now, that careful cultivation is about to bloom into something beautiful. Whatever you've been building, whether it's a career, a relationship, a business, a creative project, or even just a better version of yourself, it's ready. The foundation is solid, the structure is sound, and it's time for this thing to go from development phase to manifestation phase. What I love about this Knight showing up in your reading is the energy of dependability. After perhaps dealing with situations or people who are unreliable, inconsistent, or disappointing, the Knight of Pentacles brings an energy of, you can count on this. What's coming your way is trustworthy. It's not going to let you down. It's not going to fall apart. It's built to last. And after everything you've been through, Cancer, you deserve something you can actually rely on. The Knight of Pentacles also speaks to me about mastery and expertise. You've developed skills, Cancer. You've become good at something, really good. And that expertise is about to be recognized and rewarded. People are going to start coming to you because of what you know, what you can do, what you've mastered. Your value is undeniable, and the Knight of Pentacles is here to make sure you're properly compensated for it, whether that's financially, emotionally, or in terms of respect and recognition. Moving to the third card, and this is where things get really interesting. I pulled Seven of Swords, and I know what you might be thinking. Isn't this traditionally considered a challenging card? But hear me out, because in the context of this reading and what's coming for you, the Seven of Swords is actually incredible news. This card is about strategy, about being clever, about making smart moves that give you an advantage. And what I'm seeing is that you're about to outmaneuver a situation or person that's been blocking you. Asterisk. The Seven of Swords energy tells me that you've learned to play the game, Cancer. You've figured out how things work. You've identified the obstacles, and now you know exactly how to navigate around them. This card often appears when someone is using their intelligence and wit to achieve something that seemed impossible through direct means. You're going to find a way forward that others didn't see. A solution that bypasses the usual problems. A route to success that's uniquely yours. Here's what's really powerful about the Seven of Swords in your reading. Someone or something that's been working against you, whether you knew it or not, is about to be exposed or rendered powerless. The Seven of Swords can indicate that hidden information comes to light, that secrets are revealed, that what was happening in the shadows becomes visible. And when you see it clearly, when you understand what was really going on, you're going to be able to protect yourself and move forward with much greater awareness and power. This card is also telling me about liberation from a restrictive situation. Maybe you felt stuck, limited, or constrained by circumstances that seemed beyond your control. The Seven of Swords brings an energy of finding freedom through cleverness. You're going to discover a loophole, a workaround, a brilliant solution that allows you to escape whatever has been holding you back. This is about using your mind, your intelligence, your strategic thinking to create opportunities where none seem to exist. The Seven of Swords can also indicate that you're going to have to be a bit unconventional in your approach to manifesting this miracle. The traditional path might not be available or might not work for your particular situation, but that's okay, because you're resourceful, you're adaptable, you can think outside the box. And sometimes the indirect route gets you to your destination faster and more effectively than the obvious path ever would. Trust your instincts, trust your cleverness, and don't be afraid to color outside the lines a little bit. There's also an element with the Seven of Swords of taking what's rightfully yours without waiting for permission. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to give you the green light, to validate your choices, to tell you it's okay to go after what you want. The Seven of Swords says stop waiting. You don't need anyone's permission to pursue your happiness, to claim your success, to step into your power. What's meant for you is already yours. You just need to reach out and take it. Be bold, be decisive, and trust that you have every right to the good things coming your way. Now the fourth card is Judgment and Cancer. When I pulled this, my heart actually skipped a beat because Judgment is such a powerful card of awakening and rebirth. This is about a major life evaluation, a moment where everything becomes crystal clear, where you see your life and your choices with perfect clarity. And what's coming for you is a profound realization about your worth, your purpose, and your path forward. This is awakening energy, where suddenly everything makes sense in a way it never did before. Judgment is calling you to a higher version of yourself. It's time to shed old identities, old stories, old limitations that you've carried around like heavy baggage. The universe is literally calling you up to the next level, and this isn't optional. This is your destiny manifesting. You're being called to step into a role, a position, a version of yourself that's more aligned with your soul's purpose than anything you've experienced before. This is big. Cancer. This is life-changing. The Judgment card often appears before major life transitions. We're talking about the kind of changes that divide your life into before and after, before this moment and after this moment. And what I'm seeing is that the news you're about to receive, the miracle that's manifesting, is going to be one of those pivotal moments. You'll look back on your life and recognize this as the point where everything shifted, where the trajectory changed, where the old life ended and the new one began. This is significant on a soul level. Judgment also speaks about resurrection and renewal. Something you thought was dead, finished, over, might actually be coming back to life in a completely transformed state. This could be a dream you gave up on, a relationship you thought was over, an opportunity you believed you'd missed. But Judgment says nothing is truly lost if it's meant to be yours. What belongs to you will find its way back, often in a form that's even better than what you originally hoped for. The universe has a way of resurrecting what matters and letting go of what doesn't serve your highest good. There's also a strong theme of redemption with Judgment. Maybe you've made mistakes, Cancer. Maybe you've taken wrong turns, made poor choices, hurt people or hurt yourself. Judgment isn't about punishment, it's about learning, growing, and getting another chance to do better. This card brings forgiveness, both from others and from yourself. It's time to release guilt, shame, and regret. The past doesn't define you, your choices moving forward do, and you're being given a clean slate, a fresh start, an opportunity to create something beautiful from this point onward. Judgment is also about answering a calling. There's something you're meant to do, Cancer. Something that's bigger than just you, something that serves a higher purpose. And the universe is getting louder and more insistent about getting your attention. The signs are everywhere, the synchronicities are piling up, and this news that's coming your way might be the final push you need to finally answer that call. What have you been avoiding? What have you been too scared to attempt? Judgment says the time for hesitation is over. It's time to be brave. The fifth card I pulled is Nine of Swords. And I want you to stay with me here, because I know this card can feel scary. But in the context of everything else we're seeing, the Nine of Swords is actually bringing an important message about release and relief. This card represents anxiety, worry, sleepless nights, mental anguish. And what it's telling me is that you have been going through this. You've been stressed, Cancer. You've been worrying about how things are going to work out. You've had those 3 a.m. moments where your brain won't shut off and you're running through every possible worst-case scenario. But here's the beautiful thing about the Nine of Swords appearing. In this reading, alongside all these positive cards, it's acknowledging your pain while simultaneously promising that relief is imminent. The nightmares are ending. The anxiety is lifting. The worry that's been keeping you up at night is about to be proven completely unfounded. All that mental torture you've been putting yourself through, it was for nothing, because what's actually coming is wonderful. The Nine of Swords often indicates that the things we worry about most never actually happen. We create these catastrophic scenarios in our minds. We lose sleep over problems that turn out to be much smaller than we imagined, or that resolve themselves in ways we never anticipated. And that's exactly what's happening for you. You've been so worried, so anxious, so convinced that things weren't going to work out. And the universe is about to prove you beautifully, wonderfully wrong. This card is also about mental breakthrough. Sometimes we have to reach a breaking point before breakthrough can happen. Sometimes the anxiety has to peak before it can finally release. And I'm seeing that you've been at or near that breaking point. But you're about to come through the other side. And when you do, you're going to feel lighter than you have in months or even years. The mental burden you've been carrying is about to be lifted, and the relief is going to be profound. The Nine of Swords appearing here is also the universe, acknowledging that you've been through something difficult, your struggles have been real. Cancer, your pain has been valid, and you haven't been imagining the challenges you've faced. But that chapter is closing. The difficult phase is ending, and what's coming next is so much better that you'll barely remember what it felt like to be this worried. Joy is about to replace anxiety, peace is about to replace turmoil, and certainty is about to replace doubt. What I love about this card showing up is that it makes the miracle even more meaningful. When you've been in darkness, the light is so much more beautiful. When you've been struggling, success is so much sweeter. When you've been anxious, peace is so much more precious. You're going to appreciate what's coming because you know what it's like to not have it. You're going to value the miracle because you understand how much you needed it. The sixth card is Seven of Wands, and this is your fighting spirit showing up, Cancer. The Seven of Wands represents defending your position, standing your ground, refusing to back down. And what this tells me is that you've been in defensive mode. You've been protecting something precious, whether that's your dreams, your dignity, your boundaries, or your sense of self. You've been fighting to maintain your position even when it felt like everyone and everything was pushing against you. But here's what's beautiful about the Seven of Wands in this reading. You've been holding your ground, and you're about to discover that your defensive position was actually the winning position all along. You haven't backed down. You haven't compromised your values. You haven't given up what matters to you just because it was hard to hold on to. And that integrity, that courage, that absolute refusal to surrender, it's about to pay off in a massive way. Asterisk, the Seven of Wands tells me you've been standing alone in some way. Maybe others didn't support your choices, didn't believe in your vision, didn't understand why you were fighting so hard for something they couldn't see the value in. But you knew. Even when you stood alone, even when it was you against the world, you knew what you were fighting for was worth it. And the universe saw that courage. The universe witnessed your determination, and now the universe is about to vindicate you completely. This card also indicates that competition or opposition is about to fall away. The people or circumstances that have been challenging you, questioning you, or working against you are going to back off. They're going to realize they can't shake you, they can't break you, they can't make you give up. And once they understand that you're absolutely committed to your path, they're going to stop trying to divert you from it. The battle is ending, Cancer, and you won. The Seven of Wands is also about maintaining your advantage. You've worked hard to get where you are, and this card says you're not going to lose ground now. In fact, you're about to solidify your position in a way that makes it unassailable. No one is going to be able to take from you what you've earned. No one is going to be able to undermine the foundation you've built. You fought for your place. And now, it's truly yours. What I'm also seeing with the Seven of Wands is that you've developed incredible resilience through this fighting period. You're stronger than you were, braver than you were, more confident in your ability to handle challenges. And that strength, that's not going away even when the immediate battle is over. You've earned those stripes, Cancer. You've proven to yourself what you're capable of withstanding. And that knowledge, that self-assurance, is going to serve you powerfully as you move into this next miraculous phase. The seventh card is Ten of Wands, and I'm seeing this as representing the burden you've been carrying. The Ten of Wands is about being overloaded, taking on too much, carrying responsibilities that weren't necessarily yours to carry. And can't say you've been doing this. You've been the one holding everything together, managing everything, taking care of everyone and everything. You've been bending under the weight of it all, but you haven't broken. You've kept going even when it was almost too much. But here's why the Ten of Wands is actually good news in this reading. This card often appears right before a burden is lifted or shared. You're approaching the finish line, Cancer. The heavy load you've been carrying, you're about to be able to put it down. Either the responsibilities are going to decrease, or you're going to get help carrying them, or you're going to find the strength and resources to manage them much more easily. The struggle is almost over. The Ten of Wands is also about completion of a difficult task. You've been working on something that's required everything you've got. Time, energy, focus, dedication. You've poured it all into this endeavor, and you're so close to being done. So close to seeing the results of all that effort. The Ten of Wands says don't give up now. You're literally steps away from completion. And when you do complete this, when you finally reach the end of this particular journey, the sense of accomplishment is going to be immense. What I'm also picking up with the Ten of Wands is that you're about to learn an important lesson about delegation and asking for help. You've been trying to do everything yourself. Maybe because you thought no one else could do it right, or because you didn't want to burden others, or because you were trying to prove something to yourself or someone else. But this card is gently suggesting that you don't have to carry everything alone. The miracle that's coming might include discovering that help is available, that support is there, that you're not as alone as you thought you were. The Ten of Wands also indicates that success might feel heavy before it feels light. Sometimes when we finally achieve what we've been working toward, the reality of maintaining it or managing it can feel overwhelming at first. But that's a temporary phase. Once you adjust to your new reality, once you figure out systems and strategies for handling your success, it's going to feel much more manageable. Don't let the initial weight of your blessings scare you away from receiving them. The eighth card is Page of Wands, and this is SUCH, an exciting energy shift. The Page of Wands is about new beginnings, enthusiasm, fresh ideas, and bold adventures. After the weight of the Ten of Wands, the Page shows up bringing playful, optimistic, eager energy. This is the universe telling you that yes, you've been through a lot. Yes, it's been hard. But what's coming next is fun. What's coming next is exciting. What's coming next is going to make you feel young and alive and full of possibility again. The Page of Wands often represents news or messages, which fits perfectly with the theme of waking up to great news. This page is a messenger of positive developments, of opportunities, of invitations to something wonderful. You're going to receive information that opens up new possibilities, that shows you a path you hadn't considered, that inspires you to try something you've always wanted to do. This is news that sparks your imagination and gets your creative juices flowing. This page also represents the early stages of a passionate new project or pursuit. Something is beginning, Cancer. Something that's going to light you up from the inside out. This could be a new relationship that makes you feel giddy and hopeful. This could be a creative project that you're genuinely excited about. This could be a new direction in your career that feels like play instead of work. Whatever it is, it's bringing back your zest for life, your enthusiasm, your sense of adventure. The Page of Wands is fearless and optimistic. This energy is going to help you take risks you might have been too scared to take before. The page doesn't overthink things, doesn't get paralyzed by what ifs, it just jumps in with both feet because the possibility is too exciting not to explore. And you're going to feel that same impulse. Something is going to be so appealing, so aligned with what you truly want, that you're going to find the courage to go for it without second-guessing yourself to death. What I also love about the Page of Wands is that it represents authentic self-expression. You're about to feel more comfortable being yourself, showing your true colors, expressing your unique personality without filtering or editing yourself to make others comfortable. The page doesn't pretend to be something they're not, and neither should you. This miracle that's coming is connected to you being authentically yourself. So don't dilute your magic trying to fit in or play small. The Page of Wands also brings an element of playfulness and experimentation. You don't have to have everything figured out perfectly before you begin. You can learn as you go, adjust as needed, have fun with the process. The page's message is that perfection isn't the goal, exploration is. Experience is, growth is. So don't wait until you feel completely ready or completely confident. Jump in now and figure it out as you go. The universe supports your willingness to be a beginner, to make mistakes, to learn through doing. The 9th card is 8 of Swords. And this is probably feeling confusing after all these encouraging messages. But the 8 of Swords in this reading is showing me something important. It represents self-imposed limitations. Feeling trapped by circumstances that might not actually be as restrictive as they seem. And what this card is telling me is that you've been feeling stuck, Cancer. You've felt like you didn't have options. Like circumstances were controlling you. Like you were powerless to change your situation. But here's the crucial message of the 8 of Swords. The bondage is mostly mental. The limitations are largely the cage you're in. The door has been open this whole time. You've had more power and more options than you realized. And the miracle that's coming is going to help you see that clearly. You're about to have a major realization about how much control you actually have, how much power you actually possess, how much freedom has been available to you all along. The 8 of Swords often appears when we're about to break free from mental prisons we've constructed. You've been telling yourself certain stories about what's possible and what's not possible for someone like you, in your circumstances. You've been accepting limitations that aren't actually real, and those mental barriers are about to crumble. You're going to see with shocking clarity that you can do things you thought were impossible, that you can have things you thought were out of reach, that you can be someone you thought you could never be. This card is also about victim mentality versus creator mentality. When we're in the 8 of Swords energy, we feel like life is happening to us, like we're at the mercy of external forces we can't control. But the shift that's coming is going to help you recognize that you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're the creator of your reality. You have so much more influence over your life than you've been exercising. And once you fully grasp that, once you step into that power, everything changes. The 8 of Swords can also indicate that you've been blind to options and opportunities that were right in front of you. The blindfold is coming off, Cancer. You're about to see clearly. Resources you didn't know you had access to, people who are willing to help. Paths forward that you didn't realize existed, they're all about to become visible. And once you can see them, once you understand that you're not actually trapped, you're going to move forward with confidence and clarity. Asterisk, what's powerful about the 8 of Swords in this position is that it makes the liberation even more dramatic. When you've felt imprisoned and then suddenly realize you're free, the joy of that discovery is indescribable. You're about to experience that kind of breakthrough, Cancer. That moment where the scales fall from your eyes and you see that you've been free all along. You just didn't know it. And that realization itself is going to be miraculous. The 10th and final card is 8 of Wands. And oh my goodness, this is the perfect card to end on because the 8 of Wands is all about speed, momentum, and things happening fast. Everything we've been talking about, all these wonderful developments, they're not in some distant future. They're coming soon. Like, wake up, and it's already happening kind of soon. The 8 of Wands brings swift action, rapid developments, and sudden progress after a period of waiting. This card is telling me that things are about to accelerate dramatically. Where progress has been slow or non-existent, suddenly everything is going to start moving at lightning speed. Doors are going to open in quick succession. Opportunities are going to pile up. Messages and news are going to come flying in. It's going to feel almost overwhelming how fast things shift from stagnant to spectacular, but in a good way. In an exciting, exhilarating, pinch-me-is-this-really-happening kind of way. The 8 of Wands often represents travel or movement, either physical or metaphorical. Your life is about to get a lot more dynamic. Cancer. Things that have felt stuck are going to start flowing. Energy that's been blocked is going to start rushing through. You're going to feel like you're finally moving forward after being stuck in place for too long. And the momentum is going to build and build until you're practically flying toward your goals. This card also indicates that communication is going to play a key role in your miracle. Messages, emails, phone calls, conversations. These are the vehicles through which your good news arrives. So pay attention to your inbox. Answer your phone. Be available for important communications. The Eight of Wands doesn't knock politely and wait. It swoops in rapidly. You need to be ready to receive, to respond quickly when opportunities present themselves, to act fast when the moment is right. The Eight of Wands brings an energy of things falling into place with almost miraculous timing. Everything is going to synchronize perfectly. The right people are going to show up at exactly the right moment. The resources you need are going to become available precisely when you need them. Doors are going to open just as you're walking up to them. This is the universe operating at maximum efficiency on your behalf, orchestrating events with perfect precision to deliver your miracle. What I absolutely love about the Eight of Wands as your final card is that it promises that the wait is over. You've been patient, Cancer. You've been holding on, hanging in there, trusting that things would eventually work out. And your patience is about to be rewarded spectacularly. The Eight of Wands says your time has come. The delays are ending. The obstacles are clearing. And what you've been hoping and praying and working for is about to manifest with breathtaking speed. The Eight of Wands also brings an energy of being in the right place at the right time. Serendipity, synchronicity, fortunate coincidences, they're all about to become common occurrences in your life. You're entering a period where luck seems to follow you around, where things just work out, where the universe seems to be conspiring in your favor at every turn. And it's not actually luck, it's alignment. You're aligned with your highest good, and when you're in that alignment, everything flows. So Cancer, let me bring this all together for you, because this reading is absolutely magnificent. The world says you're completing a major life cycle and entering into a phase of fulfillment and achievement. Knight of Pentacles promises that real, tangible, lasting rewards are coming your way. Seven of Swords shows you finding clever solutions and breaking free from restrictions. Judgment heralds a major awakening and a calling to your higher purpose. Nine of Swords acknowledges your anxiety while promising that relief is coming. Seven of Wands celebrates your courage in standing your ground. 10 of Wands recognizes the burden you've carried and shows it's about to be lifted. Page of Wands brings exciting new beginnings and fresh enthusiasm. 8 of Swords reveals that you're breaking free from self-imposed limitations. And 8 of Wands promises that all of this is happening fast. This is not wishful thinking, Cancer. This is not maybe or someday or, if you're lucky, this is happening. The energy is already in motion. The wheels are already turning. The universe is already arranging circumstances to deliver something absolutely incredible to you. Something you never imagined possible. Something that's going to make you want to celebrate and toast to this miracle. You're about to wake up to news that changes everything. And when it comes, when you're standing there in that moment of realization that something extraordinary is unfolding, remember this reading. Remember that the universe saw you, heard you, and responded. Remember that your patience and persistence paid off. Remember that you were worthy of this miracle all along. The cards have spoken, Cancer, and they're shouting from the rooftops that your time has come. Get ready, stay open, trust the process, and prepare to celebrate something truly magnificent.